Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Thanks for joining me on the Energetic Dentistry series. And I really would like to go some extraordinary different places with this energetic dentistry. What is it? Having been working with Dr. Tom for the last 4 years, with everything that we do in Happy Mouth, there is so much new stuff coming forward, and yet so much stuff we haven't even explored yet. And every time we do a class, new information comes forward because new people come to class and ask questions and new things emerge. So how does it get any better than that? So this is call number 1, gums. We have got some interesting places to go with gums. This is... well, we'll just go there and see how we are. How's my sound, everyone? Am I coming through good? Okay. Stop me. I've got my phone here. Let me begin with a bit of a disclaimer, just so people are aware. I'm Shauna Teakin. I'm an Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator, and I'm also a 3-day body class facilitator with Access Consciousness, as well as being the worldwide coordinator for Happy Mouth and Happy Mouth Facilitator. For me, the two things go together very, very well. We use all the tools of Access Consciousness in Happy Mouth. We use a question. We use a clearing statement. It's not the same clearing statement, but we still have the energy of going back to the point of creation of something and clearing it right to the present. We have hands-on body processes in Happy Mouth, and I also use, of course, the Access body processes when I'm doing a Happy Mouth session. So the two things go together very, very well. Let me just read this. The information in this particular telecall series and on our website is provided as an informational resource only. It is not to be used or relied on for any diagnostic or treatment purposes. This information is not intended to be patient education. It does not create any patient-dentist relationship, and it should not be a substitute for professional diagnosis and treatment. So please consult your dental healthcare professional for an appointment before you make any dental decisions, or if you need guidance, consult them for guidance about any specific dental condition. So Happy Mouth and yourhappymouth.com, thehappymouth.com, expressly disclaims responsibility and shall not have any liability for any damages, loss, injury, or liability whatsoever suffered as a result of your reliance on the information contained on the Happy Mouth website or any classes. And further to that, I'm not a dentist. Even if I was a dentist, as Dr. Tom Colso is, I'm not your dentist. And you need to find a dentist that you feel comfortable with, that your body likes to be touched by, because the mouth is such a private area. And so these 6 calls are not going to be about the Happy Mouth head points. We might mention them in passing. It is not going to be specifically about the techniques for growing new teeth. We're looking at the energetics of it, so that in a Happy Mouth class, you would learn the points on the head, which activate systems in the body. You would learn some hands-on processes. Now, I am going to give you a couple of hands-on processes as we go through this 6 months together. We also do a lot of clearing, a lot of verbal processing. But what we find in the 3-day Happy Mouth class, there is so much information to give. It is intensely packed with information, and everyone has their questions to ask. So Tom, when he's facilitating a 3-day class, and very soon I'll facilitate my first 3-day Happy Mouth class, there isn't time to do all of the clearings we would like to do. And that's why Tom has allowed me to create, last year it was the Clarity Call series, and this year it's the Energetic Dentistry series, so that we can cover all those things that we just never seem to get to in class. You don't have to go to a Happy Mouth class to get value from these calls. They would add value if you had already been to a Happy Mouth class or were going. These stand alone. I'm going to be doing lots of clearings, and you're welcome to use those with your clients or your friends or your family. The only thing I will suggest to you is that with Happy Mouth, we don't recommend that you use clearing loops. You know, in Access Consciousness, we will often record a few clearings and run them for hours and hours, or run them overnight, or say them hundreds of times. We don't do that. The reason being is that we have a different clearing statement. It does some different things. And so we only run a clearing usually 3 to 5 times, and that thing has cleared. Now, if you have a clearing that you have a lot of energy come up with, a lot of doubt, a lot of stuff gets stirred up, you could certainly run that clearing with the Happy Mouth clearing statement every day for 21 days. But that's not many clearings that we do that with. It's just certain clearings. So we have a new Happy Mouth clearing statement, which I will send to you, so you don't have to try and write it all down. I'm going to read it out to you because I haven't memorized it yet. It's quite intense. So if we were going to be clearing something, let's run our first clearing of the evening. All your projections, separations, expectations, judgments and rejections of Happy Mouth, what it is, what you're expecting of it, what you've heard about it, what it should be, all the questions you have about it, would you please uncreate and destroy all of those? And then we would say the Happy Mouth clearing statement, from and to the highest good of all involved that benefits the oneness of the universe, A through F, all 7 systems, all 7 powers, POCT-FIEFs, PPFs, all systems visible and invisible and beyond thereof, ad infinitum, and any Mobius strips, may they be unwound, untied and decimated through all time and space, so that all of life may continue to come with ease, joy and glory. That's a really big mouthful. So let me explain what some of that means. When we say, would you uncreate and destroy it to and from the highest to the lowest, we're saying, let's cover all our bases here. Let's clear from the very highest energies available to us, and let's clear right down to the lowest, if you like, lowest energies, where we want to capture any entities, any jokester or any prankster energies that might be about, that can easily trick us. So we're covering all the energies that may be present, from and to the highest good of all involved that benefits the oneness of the universe. So we're actually asking for only those energies which are interested in benefiting consciousness and oneness and all things. Then A through F, all 7 systems, POCT-FIEFs, PPFs, all systems visible and invisible and beyond thereof. I've written out for myself what all of that means because it's quite long. Have I got it? Yes. So all 7, it's the 7 systems that affect the physical world. PPF actually speaks to the tiniest unit of consciousness inside the atom, and it's like the Adam, like the original man inside the atom. It's the God element within the atom. POCTFEIP stands for the point of creation. So that's going back to that moment in time where we first made a decision to align and agree with something or resist and react to it. The point of creation of the thought, the feeling, or the emotion immediately preceding the decision to be, do, have, or create something. So we're being very specific here. For anything to be sticking you right now, there must have been a point somewhere, maybe this lifetime, maybe a trillion years ago, where you either resisted and reacted to something or aligned and agreed with it and you made a decision. So, for example, if you one day spoke up against someone who was oppressing your family or your village or your tribe, and as a result, you got your head cut off, you might have made a decision after that of, I'm never going to speak up again, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. That would be impacting you in every lifetime thereafter, because you've said, last time I spoke up, I got my head cut off or my family got hurt, I've decided I'm not doing that anymore. So we're going back to the moment before that decision and clearing the energy right back to there. when we say and beyond thereof, we're including all the unknowns, the unseen, and all the no names. So all of the other energies that are not cognitively, intellectually seeable, we're clearing that. We continue it through all time and space when we say ad infinitum. That's two Latin words which mean and so on and so on and so on and so on. And then we say in holiness, and that anchors the light in. Now the Mobius strips are interesting. The Access Consciousness Clearing Statement does clear Mobius strips. But what Dr. Tom found was that after 3 days, sometimes they regenerate. So you've cleared something, and I'm sure you've all had this experience. You've run some clearings, you've cleared something, there's immense lightness. You go, wow, that's done, I'm through it. And then it seems to come back. And you think, oh, well, there must be more layers to it. Well, it's actually because the Mobius strips, that infinity, it's called a Google, that figure 8, which is a continuous repeating pattern, the clearing statement broke it apart, but it also came back into existence. So we take the Mobius strips and we unwind, we decimate them, we shatter them apart so they cannot be recreated. And that's why we don't run clearing loops, because once it's cleared, it's gone. If you keep running the same clearing, you're introducing the energy of doubt. And doubt's not even real, it's a distractor implant. So, any questions about that? I know that's a lot. I've got to cover all my bases here. Yes. Oh, I'm not sure about that, Carol. Let me just check. Sorry, girls, I've just got a message. That's okay. Yes, do that. I don't have any record of that. Yes, that's fine. Sorry. Okay, so I'm so hot. I have to tell you, the last 2 hours as I've been preparing for this call, that I don't know about you guys, but the energy has been really, really high and really running. Why is that? Well, we're talking about gums, but we're talking about choice. And actually, choice is the major part of how we create. As a humanoid, making a choice and asking a question is how we actually create and generate our lives. It is the central core of how we create. And so if you're not comfortable making choices, or if choices are something you're always trying to get right, you're over-analyzing, you try to make the right choice, the best choice, you try to get it right, you've actually stopped yourself from being able to create and generate whatever it is you'd like to have. Doesn't mean that the clearing statement of Happy Mouth is stronger than the Access one. We found it to be more potent, yes. And if you're doing Access classes, like if I'm in my being an Access Consciousness facilitator in a 3-day body class, or in a foundation class, or an Access telecall, I use the Access Consciousness clearing statement because that's appropriate. And then when I'm doing Happy Mouth work, I use the Happy Mouth one. And privately for myself, I use the Happy Mouth one. But play with it and see how it goes for you. It just seems to run deeper. Now, we could speculate why that is. Here's what we've found. People who are coming to Happy Mouth are, I don't want to say this in a way that's judgmental, but they're often willing to receive more. They're willing to be more courageous and go further out there than most people who come into Access, which is not to say people who come to Access are bad. A lot of the majority of people who come to Access are simply looking to be more relaxed, or to have better relationships, or have better sex, or have more money, or a whole pile of stuff, which is wonderful. And then there's others of us, both in Access and Happy Mouth, we want more. We want to go to the farthest reaches that we possibly can. And the Happy Mouth clearing statement allows you to go further, faster. But it's not for everyone. It's certainly very intense. So I hope that sort of answers that bit, Florence. Okay, so we'll be doing the happy mouth clearing statement on this call, so don't worry, we'll be using it. So I really would like to begin with getting you all running a hands-on process that's from Happy Mouth. Tom gave this in a telecall from about 5 years ago, and I picked it up and started using it, and I have had amazing results with this hands-on body process. It's not actually in the Happy Mouth 3-day class. I asked Tom about it and said, aren't we going to be including that process you gave? And he doesn't remember giving it. Okay, so I'm going to get you to use it. If you would like to do this or that, this process starts changing things which seem like they're not changing. They're stubborn or they're taking a really long time to change. So I'm going to suggest to you that you can use this on absolutely anything, but in this telecall we're going to use them on our gums specifically, and it will start changing lots of other things too. So let me read it out to you. I've got it written down somewhere here. Oh, I've got 50 million pieces of paper. Here we go. So this is what you say. You either read it out and I'll send it to you, or you just read it. All the addictions, so that's not addictions. Oh, it's gone to you privately, Carol. Can you type it into the main chat box? Because I don't know how to not type it. Everyone. Carol, help. All the addictions of consequential time, of temporal solidification, of sine, cosine, trans, and arc, and all of those that are locking whatever it is that is not changing in your mouth into no change. From and to the highest good of all involved that benefits the oneness of the universe, A through F, all 7 systems, all 7 powers, POPT VFs, PPFs, all systems visible and invisible and beyond thereof, ad infinitum, and any Mobius strips, may they be unwound, untied and decimated for all time and space, so that all of life may continue to come with ease, joy and glory. Now, while you're holding that, I'll just talk a little bit about what this process does. It's called the edicts of time. The edicts of time is what has actually created time. It's created linearity. So for people like us, now in Access Consciousness we would call us humanoids. You might prefer the term highly sensitive person or highly aware person. But for humanoids, time is not a limitation. It's fluid. Yes, there's a past. Yes, there's a present. Yes, there's a future. But we are not bound by the past, and we create as if time were a very mutable, changeable thing. However, the edicts of time, now an edict is like a proclamation. An edict is what, when the king made a new law or a new tax rule, there would be a town crier who would go around and say, "Hear ye, hear ye, it is now declared that all you peasants must pay more tax." That was an edict, and it would be pinned up everywhere for you to see if you could read. It was a new law that had been passed. So this edict of time is where you are bound to keep coming back lifetime after lifetime, but unable to recall all the awarenesses and all the wisdom of the past life. You just get little whispers and bleed-throughs of it, that suddenly you're on this time after time after time after time linearity. When you run this process, it starts to unlock the edicts of time. And we talk about sine, cosine, trans, and arc. I don't know if any of you remember your algebra from high school, but we used to talk about the sine and the cosine, and we'd have a graph where there'd be a line down and a line going across. That's the time and space continuum. That's what pins you, just like a A mapping pin pins you into aging. This pins you into, oh no, I'm going to forget everything when this body dies, even though you are an infinite being. So when you start to run this process, anything that's not not changing, is going to start unlocking and becoming malleable. Wow, this is going a really different way than I thought it would go. So get the energy of what's going on with your mouth right now. Get the energy of what maybe your dentist has told you, what you've seen the last time you looked in the mirror, what you know about what's going on in your mouth. Specifically with your gums, do you have gum recession? Do you have some gum pockets, as they're called, little pockets of where food can get in and decay? Do you have less than fabulously pink, luscious, healthy gums? And anything that's not changing in your mouth, would you be willing to allow it to change? Wow. What would you like? Get the energy of what you would like your gums and mouth to be. Get the energy of having pink, luscious, juicy, plump, youthful gums. And ask for that. So what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be that would allow you to have pink, luscious, healthy, youthful gums? So the first step is to acknowledge what you have. The second step is to ask for what you would like. And while you're running this process, it's all becoming much more changeable and malleable. So everything that's not allowing it to change, whether that's your age, whether it's because you don't have enough vitamin C or growth hormones or whatever it is that's going on in your mouth, we're allowing that to change. So you've acknowledged it, you've asked for what you would like, and then the thing is to uncreate and destroy everything that doesn't allow that to change. Whether that's your doubt, whether it's your, how is that ever going to happen? I don't understand. Whatever it is that doesn't allow it to change. We're going to go more into all of the things that don't allow it to change. From and to the highest good of all involved that benefits the oneness of the universe. A through F, all 7 systems, all 7 powers, POPT VFs, PPFs, all systems visible and invisible and beyond thereof, ad infinitum, and any Mobius strips may they be unwound, untied and decimated through all time and space, so that all of life may continue to come with ease, joy and glory in holiness. Now you're welcome to hold your hands there or rest on one hand or do whatever works for you while we keep talking. There's going to be some unexpected results coming from running this process, because once you unhook from the edicts of time, your body no longer has to age. Now, one of the reasons we get, or the major reason we get gum recession, where the gums are falling away from the teeth as we get older, is because we're getting older and we buy that as real. Something funny is going on here. No, that's fine. So, anywhere, this is going to sound very strange. If you have bought into, well, of course my body's going to get old. Of course, now that I'm 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, whatever age you are, and it's being projected at you continuously by your family, your friends, your doctor, your dentist. Well, at your age, what else can you expect? This is what occurs. So, it's actually an unconscious commitment to death. And you might say, but I don't have a commitment to death and dying at all. But if you agree that, yes, your body, you're born at a certain age, you grow to adulthood, and then at about 30 or 40, it's a downhill slide, then that is actually a commitment to death and dying. And we're totally surrounded by that at all times. So anywhere that you have a subconscious, it's not something you think about, it's not something you're planning, but it is within you, commitment to death. The happy thing is we can change that. Would you be willing to uncreate and destroy it all, please? From and to the highest good of all involved that benefits the oneness of the universe, A through F, all 7 systems, all 7 powers, POCT-FFs, PPFs, all systems visible and invisible and beyond thereof, ad infinitum, and any Mobius strips may they be unwound, untied, and decimated through all time and space so that all of life may continue to come with ease, joy, and glory. You see, I thought we would just have a simple call about choices and about gums. And as the more and more I thought about it, the more research I did, the more I realised, wow, this is huge. What was I thinking? How's it getting better? Okay, let's run another clearing. All of the projections, expectations, separations, judgments, and rejections that you have of happy mouth, of the weird and wonderful clearing statement that I just gave you, of me, of dentists, of what's meant to show up, how it's meant to show up, how it's not going to show up. Will you uncreate and destroy all that, please? Yeah. From and to the highest, wow. From and to the highest good of all involved that benefits the oneness of the universe, wow. A through F, all 7 systems, all 7 powers, POCT-FFs, PPFs, all systems visible and invisible and beyond thereof, ad infinitum, and any Mobius strips may they be unwound, untied, and decimated for all time and space so that all of life may continue to come with ease, joy, and glory in holiness. You see, without going into woo-woo conspiracy theories and aliens and all that kind of weird stuff, it's actually the edicts of time and the whole aging thing is how we've been manipulated to be powerless. Because you suddenly get to a point in your life where you've got so much awareness, you've learnt so much, now it's, and then your body starts to deteriorate and cave in and you're gone. Many of the greatest minds on the planet, the most creative, the best dancers, athletes, scientists, have this amazing flowering of wisdom and awareness, and then they die. It's a wonderful way to control people. When you're free of that, you can no longer be controlled. How does it get any better than that? And the mouth is the key to all of that. The mouth has always been, or how can I describe it? The energetic word for the mouth is periodontal. Now there's 2 words that sound the same. I'm putting it in the chat. I don't know why it's going to you privately, Carol, but if you can translate for me. Whereas dentists use a word called periodontal. So periodontal refers to the teeth, the mouth and gum structures. You hear them say the periodontal cavity. See how there's 2 different words? One's periodontal and one's periodontal. A peri is an ancient Persian word for a kind of spirit or angel, a peri. And they were good angels, good fairies, and then they were fallen angels. However, what all of that means is the mouth became, I'm getting really goosey here, the place for all of the curses, damnations, and lies to get stuck. So it is with the power of your spoken word, of your language, that you can actually heal somebody, love somebody, approve of somebody, or curse someone and damn them. Now we know words are very, very potent indeed. You can wound with your words, and you know what it's like when someone has said something to you that's been deeply wounding. But the mouth cavity, we're getting into weird territory here. It's where the spirit leaves the body when you die. through the mouth. It's where food goes, sustenance. It's a part of sex. It is, so let's just say it's a rich source of stuck energies. So everything that brings up, can we uncreate and destroy all that, please? All the lifetimes you've cursed or damned somebody, or you've said words that you wish you hadn't said and you've regretted them. And then you've judged yourself and blamed yourself for that. Will you please uncreate and destroy all that? And all of the lifetimes where you've been the recipient of that kind of energy back to you. Yeah? Can we uncreate and destroy all of that? 2, from and to the highest good of all involved that benefits the oneness of the universe. A through F, all 7 systems, all 7 powers, POC-FS, PPFs, all systems visible and invisible and beyond thereof, ad infinitum, and any Mobius strips that are holding that stuck in place, may they be unwound, untied, and decimated through all time and space, so that all of life may continue to come with ease, joy, and glory in holiness. Wow. So I didn't really intend to talk about that, but obviously the energy call for it. Excuse me while I have a quick drink. Please stop me and ask me a question if I've said something that doesn't make sense. Okay, so let's look purely at what gum disease is. Gum disease has 5 major causations behind it. Okay, one is a feeling of not being good enough. Another is you're not good at making decisions, or if you do, you're going to make the wrong decision. I'll just read through the list and then we'll come back. I'm going to be judged by others that I've done something incorrectly and they're not going to like me or approve of me. That's number 3. Number 4 is if I have gum disease, I'll get attention and other people will feel sorry for me. And number 5, self-punishment or guilt. Somehow I'm bad or wrong and I need to be punished for something I feel guilty about. So those are the 5 energies that go behind gum disease. I will point out to you that you may not have any of those as your energy. However, you may have grown up around people who had any or all of those things going on. You know how we say, who does that belong to? I think it's really worthwhile saying, truth, any gum disease that you're aware of that you have right now, is any of that actually yours? Or is it the soup you grew up in? Most of us would have grown up around people who've got a sense of wrongness about themselves, of not being good enough, of blaming themselves for something they've done, who are attention seeking. I mean, we're probably talking about all of humanity right now. So for me, it's more useful just to go, does any of that belong to you? Have you bought it as if it's all yours? And would you be willing to uncreate and destroy it all, please? Right, wrong, good, bad. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Have your mouth clearing statement. I'm not going to say the clearing statement right now because I want to add something to that. I'll send you that list of 5 things because in the next few days, I'm going to ask you for a few minutes every day to put your hands on and do that hands-on process to get things changing. And ask for what you'd like to have show up. And it can be as simple as pink, luscious, healthy gums or happy, healthy mouth. Just get the energy of that and then watch whatever starts to come up for you in your daily life, because it always does. When you ask for something to show up, whether it's tons of money or a new relationship or a new job or some change in your body, all the limitations you have that are not allowing you to have that are going to come up very, very clearly for you to see. Now, you may get some bleeding gums. You may get a toothache. You may get something else occurring around you, someone who's abusive towards you. For anything and everything that comes up, you've got to start clearing it as it appears instead of going, oh no, everything's going wrong, I must be doing it wrong, I'm not doing it right, or that happy mouth stuff doesn't work. It's working fantastically well. Your body is your greatest facilitator. It never does anything for no reason. Never does anything for no reason. Everything that's showing up in your body is your body trying to give you some awareness, some message. Any questions so far? And if it's painful, uncomfortable, or irritating, then you really have to ask, what am I not willing to be aware of here? What is my body trying to show me? Now, if you're someone who is having, and forgive me for repeating myself because I always say this in a telecall, if you're someone who's having lots of issues with your teeth, whether it's your gums, with decay, with things going wrong, please ask, truth. Well, I'm going to ask you now, truth, do you actually have a capacity with mouth, teeth, and gums for the healing of them? And you might go, well, yeah, but I'm not a dentist or I don't plan to become a practitioner. What's the point of that? That's not the question. The question is, if you have a capacity in this area, you actually have a capacity for rejuvenation of bodies, including your own. You actually have a capacity with communication and expression. You actually have a capacity for healing and health of the whole body, because it all begins here. It's not trivial. It's not cosmetic. This is the source of everything that goes on in the whole body. And it's not only the source of the health of the body, it's the source of the creation of your body and your life. Choice is the source of how you create everything. And if you're not able to choose, not just your gums are suffering, your whole life is not working. So, truth, how are you with making choices? Are you able to go, oh, yes, no, what will I do? Yep, I'm going to do that, and not worry about it? Or do you have to lie awake at night thinking about it? Do you have to make lists? Do you wait and see how things, oh, I won't choose now, I'll wait and see how things turn out? How is it for you?
A lot less of that now than used to be, that's for sure. Able to make my choices than I used to, but still have some stuff.
Yeah.
And very tiring.
Yeah, well, I would have said that I don't have a problem making choices, but when I actually examine it, I am going through in my head, oh, look, if I do this, I tell myself I'm reading the energy or I'm looking at the energy, but actually I'm trying to get it right and make the best choice. And Florence says she's incapable of making choices. There's a brave woman. I want to, but I'm stuck. Okay. I want you to write all this what I'm going to say down. For the next week, for every choice, you just have to go yes or no. You can flip a coin if you like. Get a coin, flip the coin, yes. Oh my God! Wouldn't that be amazing? Because it shocked me when Gary admitted that he just does yes or no now for any and all choices. He just goes, yep, even if it's a $100,000 choice. You know, if he was having some place renovated, some house or something, and if the builder rang him and said, do you want white tiles or green tiles in the bathroom? He'd just go, yep, whichever. Yes, the green. Do you want this or that? Yes. Just like that. The point is to get us out of that knot of excruciating trying to get it right. What if there's no right, there's no wrong? What do we say? Choice creates awareness. That means if you choose and it doesn't turn out so well, you go, wow, I have more awareness now than I had before. How's it get any better than that? Choose again, choose again, choose again. Here's the thing. Would you be willing to get out of, I'm just going to mute somebody. It's you, Mum. Sorry. It's control. Part of the edicts of time, here we go again, is control. We say, Universe, I want $10,000 by next Friday at 3 p.m. Or, universe, what would it take to have a wonderful new relationship as long as he's about 6 feet tall, he's got blue eyes. Oh no, I don't want someone like that. Control, control, control. We either control it with time or we control it with how it has to look. So everything that is, you might want to uncreate and destroy where you know you're a control freak of magnitude. You know that old clearing that's been around for a really long time. What energy, space, and consciousness can I be to be out of form, structure, control, concentricity, linearity? Might as well throw judgment in there for all eternity. And let's do everything that is, and everything doesn't allow that, uncreate and destroy it all, from and to the highest good of all involved that benefits the oneness of the universe, A through F, all 7 systems, all 7 powers, POC-FS, PPFs, all systems visible and invisible, and beyond thereof, ad infinitum, and any Mobius strips that are holding in place, may they be unwound, untied, and decimated through all time and space, so that all of life may continue to come with ease, joy, and glory. Wow. So, and it isn't just the inability or the unwillingness to make a decision or a choice in case you get it wrong. It's also that we are not willing to back up our choices. So you go, oh, I'm fine with making choices, but then you spend a lot of time trying to get out of that choice instead of just choosing again. So how does that impact the gums? Well, the way that it works with the gums is if you're dilly-dallying or delaying making a choice instead of just going, yep, I'm choosing, if you're waiting to see how things work out, if you're waiting on the will of heaven, if you're waiting for the universe to change things for you so you don't have to choose, this creates a looseness and floppiness in the gums. If your gums are not firm and solid, your teeth are not held firmly in the jaw. If your gums are not firm and solid, they're very prone to getting little pockets where food can drop down and disease and decay can start. If your gums are not firm and solid, all kinds of interesting things are going to start going on in your mouth. So everything that is, can we uncreate and destroy it all of that energy. So, okay. So what's that energy that's coming up? Okay, everywhere that you have got perfect pictures of how you want things to work out perfectly for you, so you have a standard of your personal standard of how things should be, how you should be, how things should turn out, and it's all perfect. Would you be willing to let all of that go, please? Uncreate and destroy it all. From and to the highest good of all involved that benefits the oneness of the universe. Wow, A through F, all 7 systems, all 7 powers, POC-FS, PPFs, all systems visible and invisible, and beyond thereof, ad infinitum, and any Mobius strips may they be unwound, untied, and decimated for all time and space, so that all of life may continue to come with ease, joy, and glory in holiness. Perfect pictures. Next time you're trying to make something work out the way you want it to, ask, oh no, are they my perfect pictures again? Am I trying to get it right, perfect, and neat and tidy with no loose ends? And stop doing that. Chaos, which is actually consciousness, is there might be loose ends all over the place with consciousness. It's not neat and tidy. Here's the other thing. When you're trying to tell the universe how you want it rather than asking a question, you know, people create vision boards. There's whole courses you can do on vision boards now. Vision boards and imagination and creative visualization, and I used to be a big fan of creative visualization. It means that you're only limiting what you can create to your mind and what you can imagine. And having to see it is part of the scientific paradigm. The scientific paradigm, which is quite new, we've only had it for about the age of reason, maybe 250 years, is it must be proven, it must be able to be demonstrated, repeated. You must be able to prove how you got those results and that we can see it and it's solid. It's the opposite of a magical reality. But this whole reality we live in, exist in, is based on the science of everything. If you can't explain it, if you can't prove it, then it's not worth anything. It's woo-woo, it's crazy, it's out there. Like all of homeopathy is based on, and when they take a homeopathic medication, you know, the little drops, and they scientifically analyze it, they go, there's nothing in there. It's all imagination. Well, there's nothing in there that they can see. You get it? They can't see it. Science at the moment cannot see the little microorganisms that we should have that eat plaque in the mouth. Well, one of the reasons they can't see it is they don't believe they exist. So, if you know that your life has been based around, I'll believe it when I see it, it's not real unless it's dense and intense, unless I can feel it, it can't be real, then would you be willing to let all of that go, please? Because the energy, space, and consciousness that you actually be has no density or intensity to it. It is light as a baby's whisper. It has, the future has no density and intensity. So when people say, oh, I just can't see that happening, yeah, of course you can't. It has no density. It has no intensity. It's the whispers of the future that are being created. What has density, intensity is points of view and belief systems, which are made up of thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So as your points of view and your belief systems start popping up in the next few days with relation to what we're talking about tonight with gums, you need to start running the clearing statement on those and say to yourself, wow, there's another one, woohoo. Uncreate and destroy that one, pop. It's like popping a bubble, pop, there goes another one, pop. If it gets really big and really intense, do a happy dance, pop, 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 another bubble goes. Now, another energy that comes in when we're talking about gums is, and it's part of choice, it's part of the whole choice question, is where at some point you've decided the only way that you can have you is to choose against the people around you. Usually that starts with your mum and dad. Before the age of 2, we don't really differentiate between us and mum and dad. We just think it's all one big thing. And then about 2 comes this sense of self. And of course we call that the terrible 2s, where the child discovers no, because suddenly they get, I can choose for me against mummy and daddy, but that's the only way you think you can choose, if you choose against them. And that develops into a rebellion. So you might have been a rebellious child or a naughty child or an acting out child, or you might be a secret rebelling child. The secret rebellion is where you're a good girl and you're nice and you always do what mummy and daddy tell you. Either way, you're still a rebel and you're quietly rebelling underneath. And you may secretly choose against other people in order to have you. So at some point, hopefully that point is today, would you like to start examining your choices and see what you're choosing for you instead of just choosing against other people so you can have you? And anything that doesn't allow that, let's uncreate and destroy it, but let's talk a little bit more about what would that look like? Well, if you were choosing completely for you in your life, with you didn't have to reference your past, you didn't have to think about your husband, your partner, your mother, your dog, your 50 orchid plants, anything. If you didn't have to worry about money, if you didn't have to worry about you weren't smart enough or talented enough, all of that, if you didn't have to worry about your age, what else? If you didn't have to worry about your health, what would you choose? If you could choose totally for you, what would your life be like in 5 years' time? What if you chose simply possibilities? What if you didn't have to make any firm, clear decisions? What if you got, okay, try this. Get the energy of what you would like your life to be like. If it helps you to close your eyes and do that, what kind of things would you be doing? What kind of things would you be experiencing? Do you get up in the morning and what? Walk out on the deck and you can see the sea, or there's the lake, or there's the mountains? Do you get up in the morning and you go out and all your giraffes come over to have a kiss because you love your giraffes, or your llamas? Or do you get up in the morning and you go out and you dig some crystals out? I don't know. What is it? What would your life be like? Now, every time you get a whisper, an energy that is like that, follow it. Even if it's a magazine, you know, on the stand when you're waiting to pay for your groceries, you go, I never buy magazines, but there's something about, I have to buy this because it's got a picture that reminds me, or a song, or a book, or you see something, you go, I don't know why, but I'm going to go to that coffee shop, I'm going to go to that concert. What is happening is when you get the energy of what you'd like to have, the universe starts throwing you little, well, I guess they're like breadcrumbs, but it's more like they throw you a little fishing line with a hook on it. Be hooked by that and start following that line of energy. For me recently, it's about, I started crocheting a rug about 2 years ago, and I just never went anywhere with it. And I thought, oh, I'd love to be doing that again. Now, I don't know why crocheting a rug has the energy of what I would like my life to be like, but it does. You know what I'm saying? You would think, oh, well, I must go and sit in expensive bars and have a cocktail because that's the energy of what I would like my life. It might be, but not necessarily. It's not rational. It's not rational. Now, coming back to you, Florence, where you say, I'm incapable of making choices. I want to, but I'm stuck. I have a question for you. It's probably a question for all of us. When you can't make a decision or a choice, you have to ask yourself, do I really care about this anyway? Do I really want to do that? Because if you can't make a choice, it's because you don't give a flying rip anyway. It's not important to you. Is it important to somebody else? Maybe. If it was, would you like to give us an example of where you can't make a choice?
I will try with my English.
Your English is great.
Yes, but the words perhaps I forgot them. I made a lot of stuff with Access, you know, and in this period, I'm in the moment where I choose many things, but I'm quite stuck because perhaps I don't dare to go further.
Okay.
And I'm still here in my apartment, in my comfort, because it's okay. You know, I understand I'm in the control. I guess I could go further.
Yeah.
I heard last year you had the same calls with these problems of choice and so on, but it's just like I want to go, but I'm not. I want to go and I'm not. You know, and I just I have the point of view that if I go further, I won't have time anymore for me. I won't have time to just relax and just be, because I love a lot. smelling flowers, go and have in the forest, for example, and have time for that. And in the past, I experienced that I had a lot of classes and many people, but it was too tiring, you know. So I'm in this mood in this moment, and I just try not to judge that, not to judge me,
Yep.
and to tell me it's just choice, and there's no problem with that. Except I have some problem with my teeth, and I lost 7 teeth, and I want to stop that. I want to go further, because I understand something more is okay for me, but I don't dare.
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Wow. Okay. So, truth, is any of that energy yours? Yes or no?
No.
Because as you're speaking, it's really boring. It's not even your stuff, is it? It's like,
Yes, it is boring. I know it is boring. Yes.
so what would you love to be doing? Truth.
I would like to go and travel and dance and just enjoy, you know.
Yeah. And you are what? And the reason you're not doing that is?
My justification is that I had a father who told me when I was a child not to be so strong, not to be so intense, just be the girl they wanted. They wanted me to be, you know.
Is your
the
okay?
but
Is can I ask you? Is your father dead?
Yes.
So now you're living your life for someone who's dead. I hope you're happy now, Dad.
It's inside of me, you know. Well, I wrote all this judgment, and sometimes I go with this tension and with this joy, and I have a little voice, and I just hear, because I think, or I guess I will be hurt, you know, not physically but morally. So I can't, I did not manage at this moment to pass over, to go further.
It's just a choice.
Yes.
So, would you okay, so for the next month, all of you, would you be willing to start choosing for you, not for anybody else, for you? And would you be willing to revoke, recant, rescind, renounce, denounce, reclaim, uncreate and destroy all the oaths, vows, fealties, communities, promises, contracts with your father from any lifetime?
Yeah.
That he still has power over you and he's not even here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He's off having a great time. You're the one who's not. Yeah?
He died. He told me it was great for him. So I had a conversation after his death.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's great here, and it's. So I can do it as well.
And yes, there's all of that. And I also suspect you have not actually found what it is you would love to be doing. Because once you find it, I don't know if you others know, nothing would stop you. You have so much enthusiasm for what it is.
That's it. You know, since I began with Access, they told you, what do you want? What do you want? I am incapable to make a list or to say, I don't know really what I would like to do, what I would like to have. Something is, I did not take time. I cannot take time to sit and to write something that will be exciting for me. I did not find for the moment.
Could you speak it into recording? Take a note, like just speak it.
Yeah, perhaps, but it doesn't come to me, except to be just to be in life and just not to have so many obligations and to be free, you know. But is it a plan to live? I don't know.
No, it's a plan to die. Actually, it is. It is. And this idea that we have to be free above all else, I want to be free, it's a lie, because an infinite being can't not be free.
Yes, I understand.
You are free. So you said dancing. What would stop you actually going out to some dancing classes?
I did. I did many times, but I don't know really. I close myself, you know.
Yeah.
I can fix myself to go
Yeah.
enjoy.
It's truly just a choice every single day. And it doesn't mean it's not hard. It's not easy to commit to the choice.
Mm.
And you have to keep choosing every single day. You can't choose once and it's done.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I'd like to also point out to you that at the moment on the planet, the energy is very strange.
Yes, it is.
Very, very strange. And July is going to be even stranger, energetically speaking. So it could be possibly that you are super aware,
I am.
and that a lot of that energy is not all yours.
Yes.
And in that case, how many people are you living your life for? All of you. How many people are you actually living your life for? That's tiring.
Yes, it's exhausting.
Yeah. Whereabouts do you live? Where are you?
In Nice, in France, in south of France.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Because, well, I was only in Nice for a few hours passing through on my way to Corsica, but Nice reminds, the energy there is like a beautiful cake that nobody wants to eat. So it's been like a, you know, like a beautiful wedding cake that it's been there for 70 or 80 years, but we have to keep it nice. You know, we don't want to change because we might, change is not good. So maybe what you're aware of is the energy of France and that part of France. Because there is a lot of resistance in France at the moment. Oh my goodness.
Horrible. In France at this moment, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what would it take for you to outcreate that? What would it take for all of us to outcreate where we find ourselves? Because what was surprising to me when Notre Dame caught fire, the amount of money that was there in 24 hours, millions, billions of dollars were promised to rebuild Notre Dame. Well, why wouldn't those people put all of that money into Africa or some part of the world where children are dying every minute? Oh, but it's our church. It's all about the past.
Exactly.
So perhaps you're just not just, but perhaps you're very, very, very aware.
Yes, I understand that, and I do every day. I do. Who does it belong to? But sometimes it's very hard for me to have the result because it's so heavy. And perhaps I made this choice, you know, to save all these people, but I don't want anymore. I'm exhausted.
So, Truth, did you make the choice to save all those people?
No.
Are you waiting to become a saint?
No, no.
Okay.
The job is too hard.
It's not enough to ask who does it belong to.
Yeah.
That's a great question. Who does this belong to? Somebody else, something else. But then you have to ask, well, what's it going to take to change this? What else is possible here? What does the earth require of me today? What do I require of me today? What does consciousness require of me today?
Okay.
Because look, I know only too well it's easier to stay home.
Yes, it's easy.
It's easy.
Nice.
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
But
and comfortable.
yeah, but that is actually slowly dying.
Yes, because I'm not happy.
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. It's a choice.
Okay.
It's a choice. Let me run some more clearings here. What have I got? Okay. What have you made so vital, valuable, and real about the order of getting it right that keeps you from being the chaos of question, choice, possibility, and contribution that you actually are? Everything that is from and to the highest good of all involved that benefits the oneness of the universe, A through F, all 7 systems, all 7 powers, PFs, PPFs, all systems, visible and invisible and beyond thereof, ad infinitum, will you destroy and uncreate it all, please? And any Mobius strips, may they be unwound, untied, and decimated for all time and space, so that all of life may continue to come with ease, joy, and glory. So this is not, don't mistake me, girls, this is not little and insignificant. This whole choice thing with gums is really the key to starting to create and generate what it is you'd like to create and generate. So choice is the first step. You make a choice and then more possibilities come up. Then you choose a possibility and then more possibilities come up. And meantime, all the limiting energies will come up. So you've made some choices, Florence. Limiting energies have come up, and like all of us, you're sitting stewing in all the limiting energies and going, oh, I hate this. They're meant to come up. This is fantastic. Keep clearing, keep clearing. And do you go out and walk or do some exercise or movement?
Yes, I do it, but in the last month I stopped because I had so many people and I was so busy. I stopped this, and it's not good at all.
Yeah, I agree. We all need to get out and move the body, move the body. Okay. I'd be very interested to see for all of us what occurs. There's quite a few people who've registered who are not on. I would really like a report from everyone at the end of the month and see what is changing. And luckily gums change very quickly. You can get really good results within a couple of weeks with gums with this kind of thing.
And,
so
I had another question. I have some, I don't know the word. It's dental device, something movable. I took it off.
Yes.
Okay. Does it prevent the jaws, the gums to reduce?
No, that's the right word. Regrow.
Regrow. Does it impede something or not?
Having it on there, does it stop the gums regrowing?
Yeah, because this appareil, this I don't know the word. It's a device, something movable.
Like a trainer or like braces that you can take off and put back in again. Yeah. It shouldn't stop the gums. It shouldn't stop the gums.
Okay.
No, and ask your body to work with it.
Yes, I did it. It's not totally integrated, but it's in the way.
So that body process I gave at the beginning, that changed some things for me. My mother, who's on the call, ran that on me for an hour, I think 2 sessions. So getting someone else to run it on you is, of course, more potent, but you should still run it on yourself. And that changed a long-standing infection that I'd had at the base of a tooth that I'd had month after month after month of antibiotics. It didn't change. 2 sessions of that. So that was a thing that was unchanging for me, but it can start to change other unchanging things like this thing that you've got going on, Florence, or like whatever else you've got going on in your body. Now, the point I'm making here is whatever's you haven't got freedom with in your life is going to show up at some point in your mouth. And if you want to, you can just look at what's going on in your mouth, address that, and then you will find this other thing out here will start to change, because they're both intimately connected.
Okay.
So I would get that process run. I'll send it out to you after the call. Everyone, I'll send you the written thing. It's kind of been my secret weapon in all my processes, which I haven't told people what it is. And it changes stuff.
Okay.
Whatever's not changing for you. Okay, so what else okay. What have you made so vital about your commitment to your choices and decisions that keeps you unable, unwilling, and unforgiving of all of your choices and decisions? Everything that is, let's uncreate and destroy it all. From and to the highest good of all involved that benefits the oneness of the universe, A through F, all 7 systems, all 7 powers, POP-FS, PPFs, all systems visible and invisible and beyond thereof, ad infinitum, and any Mobius strips may they be unwound, untied and decimated through all time and space, so that all of life may continue to come with ease, joy and glory in holiness. Okay, so what else is required here? So all of the lifetimes where you made a choice or a decision and then you were bound or stuck with it forever, and if you broke that like a vow, if you broke it, then you were doomed or cursed. And so now that has set up in you this fear of, oh no, if I make the wrong decision, it's going to last forever. As if you marry someone and then you're stuck with them forever, right?
Yeah, travel as well.
So that one. Choices, what does Gary Douglas of Access Consciousness always say? Any choice only lasts for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But we're the ones who go, oh, I couldn't possibly not do that anymore. I couldn't possibly, oh, I've bought that dress, I have to keep it, I can't take it back. Well, you could give it away. And, oh no, I've made this choice now. What do people say? I've made my bed and I have to lie in it. All the reasons and justifications that you would be a bad person, it's a judgeable offense to change your mind or to choose again. All of that energy, it's very murky. Can we uncreate and destroy all of that, please?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. The other issue that sometimes comes up with people who, thank you for sharing your secret weapon, you're welcome. People who have bleeding gums or gums that don't look pink and healthy, it's actually that their body is not receiving, their body's not receiving. It's not receiving the nutrition it requires. You actually need to have a pretty healthy diet to have juicy, pink, luscious gums. But it's a problem with receiving. People have problems receiving love. They have problems receiving gratitude. They have problems receiving all kinds of things. So everywhere that gums are about lack of receiving of the nutriment of life, which is love as well as food, everything that brings up where you will not, okay. And how do you change your receiving? If you're not receiving everything you'd like to have, the quickest way to change it is gratitude. So start being grateful that you do actually have tools to change this. Mm-hmm. We know that we've got all these tools. Do we use them all the time? Well, no, but we could. Be grateful that you've woken up in the morning. Be grateful for the sun. Be grateful for your cat if you've got one, or your dog, for flowers. Find the most simple things to start having gratitude for. Have gratitude for people. And that energy of gratitude is actually one of the elementals. So you could say, what generative capacity for the instant solidification of the elementals into reality by request of the quantum entanglements fulfilled as the luscious pink healthy gums I have always desired, am I now capable of creating, instituting and actualizing? And anything that doesn't allow that, you uncreate and destroy it all. And I can write that down and send it to you. So you can start to ask. The elementals are very much a part of question, choice, and possibility. Why? Because the elementals are the little bits of consciousness that we pull together using the quantum entanglements, which is all the energy waves of question, to have what we'd like to have. So start asking the elementals to contribute to your teeth. Elementals, assist me with my teeth, my gums, my mouth. Quantum entanglements means, what's it going to take, body, for us to have a healthy mouth, healthy teeth and gums? What energy, space and consciousness can I be, can me and my body be, to have healthy teeth, pearly white teeth, healthy gums? Ask questions like that. Request the elementals to assist you. You could ask, Florence, what elementals, assist me finding the enthusiasm and joy and happiness in my life. What am I not aware of here? Like, what is it about the forest that you love? What is it? Do you have a secret love of flowers? What is it that you could be bringing to people's lives that you're refusing? I mean, should you have a flower shop? I don't know.
I love flowers.
Yeah, I know. I can see. Is there flowers behind you or something?
It's this flower is here, you know.
Oh, what is that? What is it?
I don't know. Yesterday I walked and I saw it, and she's with me now. I don't know this flower. It's a wild flower across around the road, you know. It's very pretty. I love flowers, really. And forest and animals and so on, except people. No,
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I don't know how to put this. You're a silly chook.
What is it?
You're a silly chook. In Australia, we say you're a silly, it's like you're an old chicken. You're a silly old chook. You know why? You're silly.
Wait.
You know why you are silly?
No.
Because there are there are all kinds of fairies and beings around you.
Yes, I love them. Yes, I guess, because that's why I'm so happy in the nature, you know, because I'm with them. I can't see them, I can't, but I know they are.
Well, I just want to cry because they're all there around you, and it's like they're going, Florence, hello, look at us. And you're going, I'm so bored, I don't know what to do with my life, and I have no idea. And they're like all around you. People would give their everything to have what you have, this connection with the nature, fairies and spirits and things.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be willing to start sharing that in some way?
But I don't know how to do that, you know.
Okay.
I know they are. I know. I talk to my plants, to the flowers, and so on, and to the animals. But perhaps it's just my mental, which is it doesn't suit like what he wants or what he considers. You know, my mind is not.
Okay, ask them to show you how they want to be seen in the world and how they want to. Yes, ask them to show you.
Mm-mm.
Oh my goodness, you see, someone just sitting with you in your house is going to have all of those beings around them. I'm looking at you on a screen and I'm aware of the beings with you. and I'm going all goosey and I want to cry.
Lucky you. Okay.
What would it take for you to be making tons of cash from that, my dear? Because that will change the world for people. This is what the world needs, people to be more aware of nature and the nature spirits. It is when a tree gets torn down or a garden gets destroyed, those nature beings have got nowhere to go. You know? So, wow.
I need to move, you know, and I'm asking where can I move, because I need to be in a garden. And
Yes.
I really need to be in a garden.
Ask the fairies to show you the house that wants to own you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aren't we crazy? You know, it's so easy for other people to see what it is we're amazing at, and we can't see it for ourselves. Wow. Just a choice. All right, girls. This certainly did not go the way I thought it was going to go, but how's it get any better than that?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. I will type out all these little things and send it to you with the replay and the audio and the clearing statement, and I really would like you to use my secret weapon. And use it in all kinds of ways. I don't know. Play with it. See what you can change. But people I have used that on hands-on have had change from one session. And it change in all kinds of different ways. Yeah, not just their mouth and teeth. Okay. All right. Thank you. Cool.
Bye.
All right. Toodles.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
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 Bye.